Welcome to the game-winning drive. Sorry, guys, that I have not posted enough. I have another YouTube channel talking about football. I actually have two other YouTube channels. One is called the Fourth Quarter Sports, where I post content of the fourth quarter of NFL games. And my other one is Stadium Cranium, which is another commentating football channel. I'm trying to rebuild a little bit, but I want to post on all of my channels more consistently, even this one. So let's talk about fair weather fans. I live in Georgia and I see so much Eagles jerseys. It's hilarious, especially Jalen Hurts jerseys. No, I'm not seeing that much A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or even Saquon Barkley. I am primarily seeing Jalen Hurts jerseys. It's so funny because Jalen Hurts was one of the most hated quarterbacks in this season. And you can't call me a fair weather fan. I've been a Jalen Hurts fan since Alabama. And not only that, if you guys watch this channel for my OG subscribers, you know that I have defended the mobile quarterback since the beginning, whether it was Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and way back in the day, Josh Allen. And every quarterback that I have defended has played well or have exceeded expectations. I used to have a Facebook friend who told me that Lamar Jackson was going to be out of the league in 2 years. And here we are, year 6, 7? Lamar Jackson's healthy, playing better than ever. Rushes for 700, throws for 40. We have Jalen Hurts, a mobile quarterback that has won the Super Bowl, dominating. And you see so much racist people. I'm sorry, I'm not even a guy who likes talking about race. I really don't, but I've seen it. I've seen too much. I follow football. I love football. And you just see so many people saying, oh, well, anybody can win a Super Bowl if they had that offensive line and if they had that defense. Get out of here. No, that's not how football works. That's not how football works. Jalen Hurts in the first Super Bowl outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Okay? His defense failed him. Had his defense played, let's say, 30% better, the Eagles would have won the first one. The second one, yes, Saquon Barkley, even though he wasn't a non-factor in that Super Bowl, people were saying if they shut down Saquon Barkley, what is Jalen Hurts going to do with his arm? He wins with his arm, and the defense helps, which the defense is supposed to do anyway. When Peyton Manning won with the Broncos, his defense, shut down Cam Newton. And nobody really complained. They'd be like, oh, Peyton Manning retired with a ring. Jalen Hurts wins. Oh, his team was perfect. Any quarterback wouldn't have won. I'm sorry. If they put Sam Darnold for the Eagles, they would have made the playoffs. They wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. If they put, let's say, I'm trying to think of another. If they put Justin Herbert for the Eagles, I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl. And the reason why I know this, because a lot of you young fans are annoying. I've watched football since 2009, since I was 11, and I remember a lot of things. Phillip Rivers should have won 2 Super Bowls, in my opinion. He is the first quarterback in NFL history. They're the first team in NFL history. I think it was, 2010? They had the number 1 defense. They had a good offense, and they didn't even make the playoffs. They did not even make the playoffs. So to say, the reason why Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl is because he has a good defense and he has a good offensive line, no. Yeah, that helps, but Jalen Hurts, he's the heart and soul of that team. I'm sorry. The reason why Saquon Barkley got 2,000 yards is because Jalen Hurts is also a running threat. If Kenny Pickett was starting, I don't think Saquon would got 2,000 rushing yards. I don't. I think he'll probably got probably 1,500, 1,400. I don't think he gets 2,000. Because mind you, look at Jalen Hurts rushing yards this year. Look at Jalen Hurts rushing yards this year. It was 600, which means he's a running threat. He's had 10 rushing touchdowns, which means he's a running threat. He's a smaller Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts is a smaller, more humble Cam Newton. If Cam Newton was humble, he would be Jalen Hurts. That's all Jalen Hurts is. Now you got fair weather Eagles fans everywhere here in Georgia. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to support Jalen Hurts. Oh, I've always was with him. BS. And you still see the racism and you still see the annoying fair weather fans in the comment sections. You still see, all these Eagles jerseys. And I know just 3 weeks ago, I did not see that. Jalen Hurts got the most hate of any quarterback this year. Not really that much Lamar Jackson this year, even though he gets hate all the time. But Jalen Hurts got so much hate, and he actually won the Super Bowl. He wins the Super Bowl. They dominate. And I'm not trying to be racist, but every black quarterback, I'm not even counting Patrick Mahomes because he's mixed. I don't count mixed people as black people. They're mixed people. I don't go by that one drop rule. But Every full black quarterback that's won a Super Bowl has blown their team out. We had Doug Williams do it 42-10 against John Elway. We had Russell Wilson do it again against the Broncos 43-8. And then we have Jalen Hurts, who blew out the Chiefs, 40-22, which really was 40-6. They put their backups in. So Jalen Hurts dominated. He proved that running quarterbacks can win the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts is not a pocket passer. He's a running quarterback and a good one. He's not as fast as Lamar Jackson, but like I said, Jalen Hurts is a smaller Cam Newton. That's all he is. A smaller, humble Cam Newton that got the job done. So now you can't say mobile quarterbacks can't win Super Bowls anymore because that whole image is over. It's over. It's over. He defeated it. Now, Lamar Jackson, yeah, we want to see him win the Super Bowl. And if Josh Allen wins, he's considered another mobile quarterback because he's also a running threat. But, let's be truly honest. Just 3 weeks ago, nobody expected Jalen Hurts to win the Super Bowl. Nobody. Maybe a few Eagles fans here and there, yeah, but... And I'll make another video on it, just showing the hate that he got. It's just from comments, people in the comment section. You have, some fans that are fair weather fans, and you have other fans who are just... Yeah, I don't go on Facebook and look at, football fans, but a lot of them be racist. They do. I don't know what it is. It don't even make no sense. Oh, he's just a black version of Tim Tebow. Or I'm like, what? What? I'm not making this shit up. I've seen weird stuff on Facebook. Oh, well, he's not really that good. He has a super team. Okay. The Chargers were a good team this year. Why did they make the Super Bowl? Why didn't they? The Bills were a good team this year. Why can't Josh Allen get past Patrick Mahomes? And let's be truly honest, I'm sorry. The Bills blew out the Chiefs in the regular season. For some reason, when Josh Allen plays Mahomes in the playoffs, it's like a mental barrier. I'm sorry. He can't beat Mahomes in the playoffs. And his team, I'm sorry, the Bills are a good team. They are. Ever since McDermott has been their coach, the Bills have been a good team. So to even say, oh, it's because of this, makes no sense. The Ravens had the talent to make the Super Bowl this year, but dropsies and, they kept shooting themselves in the foot. But it really should have been Ravens and Eagles, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't think the Chiefs deserved to make the Super Bowl. They weren't even good. If you look at the Chiefs all year, they could have easily been 4-13. Every game was one possession. And it's people were afraid. And then people were going against the refs too when it came to the Chiefs. But really, if teams weren't afraid to play the Chiefs this year, every team could have blown out the Chiefs. Mahomes did not have his best year. He didn't. He should not have been in the playoffs this year to even begin with. But that's for another story in time. I'm sorry. Jalen Hurts earned that Super Bowl. Why do you think he got Super Bowl MVP? If Jalen Hurts was any quarterback in the league, I don't think they would win that Super Bowl. I can see Lamar Jackson winning for the Eagles because Lamar Jackson has a similar play style and he's real fast and talented, but Jalen Hurts is his own quarterback and he deserves it because, he got revenge. He's gotten revenge on Mahomes. Great story. Great story. Great Super Bowl. And yeah, the defense plays good now because look at that first Super Bowl. I forgot I think it was Jim Schwartz who was their defensive coordinator that year, but he gets fired and they got Vic Fangio, which was a great hire. And the higher ups, in the Eagles organization, Jeffrey Lurie, a lot of people doubted him, for missing out on Justin Jefferson, and people wanted the Eagles to get a corner or a receiver that year, and they get Jalen Hurts in the second round. And you mean to tell me that Jalen Hurts, a second round pick, gets a ring before Burrow, Herbert, Tua, and even Jordan Love? But what makes it so bad is all the quarterbacks in that draft class, look at their teams. They have all got super teams. And they can't do shit in the playoffs. Herbert had his best season statistically, and he couldn't do shit in the playoffs. Throw 4 picks? I'm sorry. Overrated. A lot of these quarterbacks are overrated, and people had Herbert, and they had, what else was it? Love, Tua. They had him at a top 7, top 10 quarterback, and Jalen Hurts was the 15th best quarterback? Get out of here. And he wins the Super Bowl? I'm glad. Something about the Super Bowl felt different to me because I felt like Jalen Hurts did something. He kind of altered the landscape of the NFL forever. He did. Because now you can't really say you need a guy that throws 5,000 passing yards because, note to self, I don't think, in NFL history, no quarterback that's thrown for 5,000 has ever won a Super Bowl in that same year. Yeah. I mean, look at Joe Burrow this year. Drew Brees has thrown for 5,000 multiple times, but he hasn't won the Super Bowl within the years that he's thrown for 5,000. No, he hasn't. I think the only quarterback that had the most passing yards and won a Super Bowl in the same year, I think was Eli Manning when he did it against the Patriots. Because even Peyton Manning's 5,400 passing yards season, he loses to the Seahawks. So yeah, you can look it up. Any quarterback that has thrown for 5,000 passing yards has not won the Super Bowl in that same year. It hasn't happened. I know I'm ranting a little bit, but it's just so frustrating when I see fake people. Like, I'm a football fan. I don't care what race you are. I don't care. As long as you are a good athlete and you can get your team to the promised land. But I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts got unwanted hate all year from the media and racist-ass fans. But let Jalen Hurts be Tim Tebow. Oh, that's what they're calling on Facebook. I should have screenshot some of those comments and show you guys. I'm not even joking. He kept all year. They kept calling him White Tim Tebow. That's all he is. Because I think he's like Christian, but he's not as like a super Christian like Tim Tebow is. But he's like a Christian, a humble dude, and he just plays football and he's tough. But he's just black. They just kept calling him Black Tim Tebow, and they said Jalen Hurts don't have an arm, which don't make sense to me because it's funny when Jalen Hurts in the playoffs. I think he's 6-3 now all the time. Anytime he's had to throw the ball, he does it. But why in the hell does he have to throw the ball for 300 yards every game when you have him as a running threat, Saquon as a running threat, Gainwell is pretty good, and then you have a good line? Why in the hell would you do that? Did you guys watch football in the early 2000s? What was football in the early 2000s? Run the football, play defense. Now it's, you got to throw the ball a lot? I think that's their way of trying to say, because he's black, he can't throw. That's what they're trying to say. Because I've seen Jake Delhomme play. We've all seen Tom Brady play. They have good defense, good lines. Brady had an okay running game. He never had a great running back in his career. I'll give him that. But it was decent enough. But you look at, quarterbacks in the early 2000s like Phillip Rivers, who had LaDainian Tomlinson, Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates, a good-ass defense, and all he's been to was an AFC championship, no Super Bowl appearances, not even an appearance. Nobody says anything about that. I'm sorry, there have been teams in the NFL before that has great teams that have not won Super Bowls. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts is a running threat, which opens up opportunities for Saquon. Because if they shut down Jalen, then they got Saquon. And they shut down Saquon, they got Jalen. And then, it's a thing. He's a dual threat quarterback, and he's tough. But that's all I have to say.